Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, June 26th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I'll do a bonus analysis at the end. A few things. First off, if you have a request for me to do in a future video of an analysis, please just comment down below that ticker symbol, and I'll do my best to get to it. Second, this candle here is still going to be moving. That is because the market is still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then the time frame I'll be using is the 30-minute, meaning each of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol RGS. And overall, monster move today. Good solid volume. So definitely got to think a lot of eyeballs going to be watching this one moving forward. So let's first talk by mapping out some areas of support. And the ideal level of support, meaning if you're saying, hey, Clay, let me change that to green to represent support. But if you're saying, hey, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest and healthiest moving forward? That would be if the price can stay above this trend line. Now, with that being said, if the price falls below there, that doesn't mean the entire chart's epically destroyed or anything like that. But staying above it would represent a good sign of power. Now, from the big picture point of view, as far as supports are concerned, that's where this purple line here comes into play, the 50-period simple moving average. Keyword being moving, because I understand the price is way up here, that line's way down there, so it's pretty irrelevant right now. But as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher and get more and more relevant. So from an overarching standpoint, as long as the price stays above that purple line, the bulls are still in full control, as that implies that the overall trend would still be in the upwards direction. In terms of areas of resistance, nothing fancy here, just a question of where did the party stop today? And that was right up there finally at $24.35. So keep an eye on that. But all in all, very good stuff. And we'll see if this momentum carries into Wednesday. Next, GLYC. Absolutely nasty pullback today. I mean, to think that there were some poor souls that were buying up there. Hopefully they were using stop losses. But nasty pullback. But this is where things get interesting, because at this point, it becomes a very good question to say, uh-oh, is this the start of something even worse? Is this just a pumping up? Is it a gap and trap? And as of now, it doesn't seem so, because the price at least has now started to go sideways. Now, let me be very clear, and I wish I could say trading was this easy. Just because there is a big pullback, just because the price has started to go sideways, does not mean that for sure guaranteed the pullback is over and for sure guaranteed this thing is getting ready to head back upwards. My point here is it becomes a lot more plausible at this point in time. Case in point, let's just say the price was still drop, and I'm sitting here saying, hey, it's looking like this could be a bottom. You'd be totally justified to say, what are you talking about? Based on what? The price is literally just dropping right now. But that's not the case here. It has at least started to go sideways. So again, does that mean that the pullback's over? No, but it certainly becomes valid to think that way. So if you like these sorts of scenarios on penny stocks where you get nasty pullbacks, but then you get some suggestions via sideways price movement that maybe the pullback is over, definitely keep an eye on it. Next, NVDA. Good movement here, especially when you consider that. Check out yesterday, the final 30 minutes, nasty red candle. Came down right at that support, slightly below it, but this also goes to illustrate the power of charts. I mean, essentially a bounce right off that support today. Very good move. Yeah, there's work that needs to be done, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. And also why I would now consider this level here at 121.40 to be a must-hold level. Why is that the case? And I'm not saying this is what's going to occur, but just for explanation's sake, if the price were to come down here and then fall below there, what would that be doing to the price? That would quite literally be putting the price right back in this range where it just was. Or said another way, that would imply that the price made a great bounce and then went right back to where it was, not exactly a sign of genuine power. Now, nothing can go straight up, so things do need to show signs of progress. So what is the sign of progress? Well, that green line right there, because if the price were to come down there, behave like that, and then curl back upwards, now all of a sudden, what would you have? Well, you'd have a set of lows right here. You'd have lows there. If you envision each of those as stair steps, well, now you'd have stair steps progress in the upwards direction. And that's what it's all about. Not going straight up, but at least showing signs of progress. In this situation, the quote-unquote sign of progress right there around the 121.40 mark. In terms of areas of resistance, very straightforward. All about that purple line right there, 50-period moving average. You can see as I talk, that's where the price is currently struggling with it. So keep an eye on that. But in my opinion, at least by far the most important dynamic is just showing signs of progress by putting in those higher lows. Next one, FFIE, a cult stock that's continued to get beat down. But with the beat down here, a little bit more upwards movement here, and same general idea of what I just talked about in terms of, okay, nice bounce, but can this thing show some signs of progress? And for the exact same reasons, you don't want to see the price going right back to where it was. That's where 24 cents is coming in terms of the progress point. Because if the price were to come down here, break through it, well then yes, now all of a sudden you have the price right back to where it was before the bounce started. But if the price can go down there, stay above it, then as I just illustrated in the previous one, you would still have stair steps progress in the upwards direction. So that's just my long way of saying 24 cents, definitely very, very important level of support moving forward, because that's going to help us know whether or not this thing is making progress or just simply going back to where it was. In terms of areas of resistance, initial key level to watch, right there at the 29.5-cent mark. But from more so the overarching standpoint, as we just saw with NVIDIA, continue to watch the purple line there, that 50-period moving average. It will continue to move itself downwards and get more and more relevant. But one hurdle at a time. First key step, just staying above 24 cents. And then next key hurdle, breaking above that level. But like I said, called stock with some upwards movement to it. Is this the start of some sort of turnaround? Let's see if it can show signs of progress. Next one here, LRHC. Definitely a very, very ugly looking chart. No doubt about that. But for you longer time viewers, you know what I'm going to say next. There can be opportunity in the ugly. So yes, the price was all the way up here, and then it's pulled back and pulled back and pulled back. But now all of a sudden we have some interesting action. Look where the price has, as of now at least, stopped going down. Wouldn't you know it, right at that purple line there, 50-period moving average. As I've said, does that mean for sure guaranteed this pullback is over? No, but does it become a lot more plausible and reasonable to say that, you know what, I think this pullback is maybe over. I think this thing's getting ready to maybe get at some sort of bounce in the upwards direction. That is certainly a plausible scenario. So like I said, just because something has paused and gone sideways for a few moments doesn't guarantee anything. It just is an argument of plausibility, and it makes a whole lot more sense. So if you like, I know the other one was for a penny stock, but in this situation, up above a penny stock. So if you like these circumstances where it's pretty ugly, you got the pullback, but now all of a sudden it's showing some strength right at a key moving average. Keep an eye on it. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering here in a couple of days. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can use to sign up. Or if you're watching right at my website, there's an area right there on the page you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free live webinar. Next one, DNA, and overall the downwards nasty move continues. But interesting because of the same topic, which is kind of a common theme, is that, yeah, gap down this morning. Yeah, very nasty opening 30 minutes. But after that has essentially gone sideways. So I'm not going to beat this dead horse. You already understand the implications here. No guarantees. But does it become plausible? Does it become a little bit more reasonable throughout the question? Hey, maybe this selling pressure is finally alleviated, and maybe this thing's getting ready to bounce back upwards. That is certainly a plausible thought process to have. So you have a couple different choices from the penny stock world, but this one, yeah, we'll see if it can, if it has indeed bottomed out, and if it can get some sort of bounce. Next one here, AMD. Talked about this one in yesterday's video, and unfortunately could not maintain this nice little pattern here that had formed. You can see opening 30 minutes right there, broke down through this pattern, came back up, got rejected, came back up, came back down. Now it is coming back up, but the problem is you have quite a few areas of resistance. So the first resistance is just based on the rule that when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. Whoops, let me move that down. But the second problem with that is even if you don't want to use that trend line, the price has to now deal with both these moving averages right there. Pink line being the 200-period moving average, purple line being the 50-period moving average. So by no means is anything impossible. I'm just saying that if the price is going to get up through this section of the chart, the bulls are really going to have to bring their A game, because there is just a whole lot of selling pressure, potentially right up around that general area right there. And then if the price can push up, though, the more so kind of overarching level right there at 163.10, going to be an important area of resistance too. As far as areas of support are concerned, nothing too fancy here. Just essentially where the bleeding stopped today, and that's right there at about the 156.50 mark. So if this thing does break down the 156.50, a pretty important level, because if the price does not hold above there, then you once again have a situation where the price is starting to drift right back to where it was, before that nice move upwards right there. So we'll see what AMD offers on Wednesday. Next one, TSLA, Tesla. Good solid day on this one. Has come up and broke through that level of resistance right there. And now we have what I would say is a pretty well-defined general area, and that's right up here at 188.50. Now I realized a couple of times the price went up above it slightly. A couple of times the price went slightly below it, then a couple of times the price hit it basically right on. So I'm just trying to find a common ground. But 188.50 got one of those levels that you got to think a lot of people are watching, and when a lot of people are watching the same levels and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want. It can produce some very dynamic movements. So again, no guarantees, but certainly valid to think that if the price comes up here and can push through that level, that break right there in and of itself could very well create a whole nother round of upside buying pressure, just because a lot of people are watching that level as a key breakout location. If the price does push up through there, next key area of resistance would then be up there at the 190-110 mark, so keep an eye on that. As far as supports are concerned, ideally the price now stays above that purple line, but from the overarching big picture standpoint, still all about that pink line right there, the 200 period moving average, because as long as the price is staying above that line, as the line in itself moves higher and higher, well then by default, the overall trend is still putting those higher lows, which is what ultimately matters. But yes, best case scenario, what would make it look the healthiest is certainly staying above that purple line there. Next one, BT, and just an absolutely classic pattern here. So if I was writing a textbook on patterns and I needed an example, this one here would just definitely belong. I mean, it's hard to, really get better than what this pattern is offering. So let me just get the pattern in place. So green for support, and then to make the pattern easier to see, let's just keep it one color. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big explosion right there. If you golfers out there try to make it a little bit more visual, put the golf hold on here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. So as I've said, there are no guarantees, but would it be shocking or anything like that to see the price break up through the top part of the pattern and then have that break create additional buying pressure? Absolutely not. Even if people are just buying because, hey, I'm a breakout player. Oh, look, that's breaking out. Oh, I'm supposed to buy. Therefore, I'm just going to buy for no other reason other than my strategy is buying breakouts. Yeah, that sort of stuff happens. And, that's why I would argue charts are always good, because if there's self-fulfilling prophecies out there, probably good idea to know what they could possibly, and we have one of those right here. So if you like bull pennants, you like stocks down below $5, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one, TQQQ, and good solid move on this one after this one had been really getting beat down quite a bit. It's gotten back above this key area of resistance, so now this goes back to being an important level of support. And once again, along the common theme that happened today is, as long as the price can stay above here, that shows progress. So that movement right there actually very encouraging, because it did break. Then the bears try to press it back down, to where it was, but the bulls said, nope, that's not happening, and got the bounce right there, and back up it went. So if it does roll back over, like I said, it's all about, can this bounce show signs of progress? And I'm defining the quote-unquote sign of progress as 72.75. And then as far as levels of resistance are concerned, right now, currently doing battle with that purple line there, 50 period moving average, so keep an eye on that. If the price can push up through there, next key area of resistance, right up around the 75.50 mark. So no doubt about it, nice bounce today. Is this a truly strong bounce? Well, let's see if it can show signs of progress over the next couple of days. I will get to Bitcoin here in just a second, but for you stock traders out there, if you enjoyed what you saw and you want to learn more about the tool, then definitely go get signed up for the class. Like I said, it'll be in a couple of days, Thursday, June 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And it is truly live, so bring your questions, because there will be a question and answer session, and I'd be happy to answer any sort of questions you may have live. So like I said, go get signed up for it. Now let's talk some Bitcoin. One clarification, I am now looking at the 4-hour time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks represents 4 hours, and that's because Bitcoin is open 24/7, so I want this analysis to remain relevant for as long as possible, and by using the 4-hour time frame, it allows me to do that. So big dynamic here is that last time I did this 24 hours ago, things were looking rough, but things have turned around very nicely, and just based on the rules, when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. And that's also going to be the first question that you need to ask yourself. So let's just say you're watching this video 20 hours after I upload it. Question number one, where is the price at relative to 60,200? If you're answering the question, the price is above that level, that is a good thing, because that, even if it were to come down here, then that would still imply that not only is the bounce maintaining itself, but there's still an opportunity at progress, because you'd have a low there, you'd have that low right there, which again, as has been the theme, would represent progress. So in my mind, the key question is 60,200. Whenever you're watching it, where's the price at relative to there? If you're saying, well, actually, Clay, the price is down below there. Okay, next question, where's the price at relative to 57,200? If you're answering the question that the price is down below that level right there, that would tell you that this is a total dead cat bounce and things have once again returned to being very, very bearish. Now, I'd be surprised if you're answering it that way, but that's what that would represent. If you're saying the price is still above 60,200, fantastic. Kind of the cherry on top would be if you're also answering the question that the price is now actually up above that 50 period moving average. That would show you that not only is this bounce holding up? It's actually gotten that much stronger. But to me, it all goes back to 60,200 and just making sure the price bare minimum stays above there, because that, again, would at least represent progress from, as of right now, good solid movement. And just as I invited the stock traders, I'm inviting you as a Bitcoin and crypto trader to get signed up for this free class, because what you learn about can and definitely should be used within the world of Bitcoin and crypto too. So go get signed up. It'll be in a couple days, Thursday, June 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And like I said, it is live, so definitely bring your questions. As far as the top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, please do a couple things for me. Hit that like button, leave a comment below, say hi, tell me what you trade today, give me a watch list for tomorrow, or like I said at the beginning, if you have a request, go ahead, leave that down below in the comment section. So thanks for watching. Go get signed up for that free class. Have a good one.